If you see, there is a word called management. What is the spelling of management? M-A-N-A-G-E-M-E-N-T. The last letter is T. उसको आप हटा दीजिए. क्या रह गया? Manage me. I have little less belief on destiny. I have more belief on my karma. Then when everybody was coming, they were giving the flowers. Then Jayadratha came. When Jayadratha came, Arjun said, Jayadratha, don't touch my son. You are responsible for my son's death. And Jayadratha, if you touched my son, it will be an insult for my son. And Jayadratha, you will not see tomorrow's sunset. काल का सूर्यास्त तुम नहीं देखेगा. अगर देखेगा तो I will do self-immolation. मैं अग्नि में झांस देगा. A small misbehavior has led to a disaster. If you see the order of Mahabharata from the beginning to the end, at one point of time, Draupadi said to Duryodhana, अंधे का बेटा अंधा है. Duryodhana's darbar, you can say Dhritarashtra's darbar. So what happened? He said, Pandavas, उनको इंद्रप्रस्थ दे दीजिए. No, he said, no, I will not give you इंद्रप्रस्थ. Then he proposed for 5 गांव दे दीजिए. है ना? So he had a plan B also. If though he didn't agree, that is a different thing. But he had a plan B.
Welcome, sir, once again on our podcast show.
Thank you.
Yeah, because on a demand on reach and showing on the interest of the viewers, I invite you again.
Thank you.
And this time I would like, today we are not going to talk about any productive app, planner or calendar hacks. We are going to travel back thousands of years into the wisdom of Mahabharata and decode the powerful questions related to time management. So, Debasis sir, as we all read Mahabharata, but how come in Mahabharata, time is portrayed unstoppable and supreme? How does this perspective influence understanding of urgency?
Okay, very interesting question, and it is a universally relevant topic also. Everybody is keen to know about time management, the art of prioritization, and we can very nicely get examples from Mahabharata about the time management and the art of prioritization. Let me tell you, anything which you do in a day, since morning till the evening, or in a month, or in a week, all the activities which you do, this could be categorized into 4 quadrants. Quadrant number 1, it is urgent as well as important. Then quadrant number 2 is not urgent but important. Then quadrant number 3 is urgent but not important. Then the 4th quadrant is neither urgent nor important. Right? Now the question is, how much time we need to give to which quadrant? That's an important question. If you answer, then you can manage your time very well. Right? So now quadrant number 2 says urgent, but not urgent, but important. Let me give an example to you.
Yeah.
Right? Many people, if you go in the morning for morning walk, then mostly people are above 50.
Yes.
Right? And do you know why they are going for morning walk? Because doctor has already told them, if you don't go for morning walk on a regular basis, तुम्हारा राम नाम सत्य होने वाला है. Right? So that has become urgent as well as important for them.
Yes.
But when they were at the age of 30, 35, 40, that point of time, going for a morning walk was important but not urgent. So this is an example of urgent and not important.
Not important.
Now coming to, these are 2 examples I have given. One is at the age of 30, 35. If you go for a morning walk, that's important but not urgent.
Not urgent.
But the moment you are at 50, 55, 60, then if you are going in the morning for a morning walk, based on the advice of the doctor, it becomes urgent as well as important, right? Then comes not urgent but important.
But important.
Right? Sometimes we get phone calls from some unknown number. We may think that it could be somebody who is calling me, and there could be somebody for some family members whose number I have not saved. But let me pick off. Or some unknown number is coming, we pick off. But suddenly we found the other man is trying to sell credit card or he's asking for a loan to take.
Yeah.
So that sort of time you are in the middle of a meeting, but you have picked up the phone.
Yes.
So that's not important, but urgent to pick up the call, right? That is
yes.
another one. Then comes not urgent, not important. Spending lots of time in WhatsApp, Instagram, and other social media, lots of time is neither urgent nor important.
Not important.
Now the question is, how much time you should give in which quadrant? The majority of our time, around 70%, you should spend on not urgent but important. Right?
Yes.
Not urgent but important. Because if you are going to neglect your health when at the age of 35, it's not urgent but important to go for a morning walk, it's get graduated to urgent as well as important. So advice is that 70% time use on not urgent but important. Then urgent and important you have to attend very quickly. So that will be maximum 5 to 10%, I'll tell you. Most of the things in your life becomes urgent and important. One day they were not urgent but important, but since you have neglected, that has become urgent and important. And so far as this urgent but not important is coming, you should spend 5 to 7 minutes time. But the areas in which it is not urgent, neither it is urgent nor important, that is looking towards the mobile, YouTube and WhatsApp, maximum 5 to 7% of your time you should really give. If you are not allocating the job time as per this, then you are in trouble. And if the time would be not in your control, it will be out of your control.
One more query, which I feel generally, the fact is, people think is time management actually about managing the time or managing ourselves?
It is absolutely, you are correct, it is managing self, right? If you see, there is a word called management. What is the spelling of management? MANAGEMENT.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
The last letter is T, उसको आप हटा दीजिए. क्या रह गया?
Manage.
Manage me.
Manage me.
Manage me. Manage. बीच में, if you make a gap, then it's me. Right? So that means management is nothing but managing self. Managing self. So you can really manage yourself to manage your time. Right? And many a times, because we are not in our control, we are in the control of somebody else. That is why we are not able to manage time.
Yes.
Right? I'll just give an example. There is something called know how to say no. K-N-O-W, no. How to say no, N-O. Many a times we don't have any ability or expertise or assertiveness to tell to our friend that now it's not my time. Now I have many things to do at home. I can't really accompany you. Right?
Yes.
Or in an office, somebody is asking you, you come and let's go for a walk for half an hour, 45 minutes during office hour. Or let's have lunch and it will be taking maybe 1 hour. Or let's go outside. Sometimes we are not able to assertive enough and to say no to him. In the process, what happens, it becomes out of control. Right? I'll just give you one example. How to say no. Recently, along with my family members, I had gone for a picnic. Then by 7 o'clock, we came back. And I had planned so many things to do. Because next day, I had a presentation in a huge organization. Right? And at 7 o'clock, one of my family members said, let's go for dinner. Though I was feeling a little hungry, but I said, if I go for dinner, then my time will be wasted completely. So I said, sorry, you have to excuse me. I have given you company for the whole day. Now you go for dinner. I will manage somehow my dinner. But for me, it's more important to spend another 3 hours because next day is my broadcast with one organization or my presentation with one organization. So that's an important thing we need to learn. We should know how to say no. That's an important quality.
Another is, how does the concept of destiny versus effort shaping planning behavior?
If I see my last 55 years of my journey with my gray hair, I have little less belief on destiny. I have more belief on my karma. Right? Destiny has something to play in our career, in our life, but destiny has very little. Right? So there is a saying in English, God helps to people those who helps themselves.
Yeah.
ईश्वर उन्हीं को हेल्प करते हैं जो खुद को हेल्प करते हैं,
Exactly.
है ना? तो आप काम नहीं करेंगे, एफर्ट्स नहीं करेंगे, एग्जर्ट नहीं करेंगे, यू विल नॉट मूव आउट ऑफ योर कंफर्ट जोन एंड बोलेंगे ईश्वर मेरे को आप दे दो प्रमोशन, ईश्वर मेरे को अच्छा नौकरी दे दो. दैट इज इम्पॉसिबल, लेट मी टेल यू. सो फर्स्ट डू योर कर्म, देन यू विल बी गेटिंग इट, राइट?
That is mentioned in Mahabharata.
Mahabharata, कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्तु, right? That's an important thing, message we need to give to people.
What can we learn from the idea even great warrior like Arjun could not skip the time?
Yes, from each character in Mahabharata, you can learn a lot on time management, right? I'll just tell you, first I'll be talking about Arjun's actions in Mahabharata, and I was mentioning about the 4 quadrants: urgent and important,
Urgent
and not urgent but
but
important.
important.
You see, when Arjuna's only son Abhimanyu was mercilessly killed in the Chakravyuha, next day was the last rite of Abhimanyu. उसको स्मशान से लेने से पहले उसको उन्होंने सबके सामने रखा ताकि everybody would come and pay their homage. Then when everybody was coming, they were giving the flowers. Then Jayadratha came. When Jayadratha came, Arjun said, Jayadratha, don't touch my son. You are responsible for my son's death. And Jayadratha, if you touched my son, it will be an insult for my son. And Jayadratha, you will not see tomorrow's sunset. काल का सूर्यास्त तुम नहीं देखेगा. अगर देखेगा तो आई विल डू सेल्फ इमोल्यूशन, मैं अग्नि में झांस दे दूंगा, राइट? ये डिक्लेयर कर दिया, राइट?
जी.
नेक्स्ट डे वाज द वॉर, एंड उसका ओनली फोकस रहा हाउ टू किल जयद्रथ. सो किलिंग जयद्रथ वाज अर्जेंट एज वेल एज इंपॉर्टेंट, राइट?
Yes.
बिकॉज if he is not going to kill Jayadratha, then he has to do self-immolation.
Self-immolation.
खुद को अग्नि में झांस देना पड़ेगा उसको. So this is a beautiful example of urgent and important on that particular moment from. So in our life, there are many things which are coming under the category of urgent and important, but they generally graduate from not urgent and important. But this case is a classic example of urgent as well as important.
Did Dhritarashtra examples indecisive cost of crew destiny in its future? What does that teach us about delayed decision?
You see, in Mahabharata, if you see in the modern management, Dhritarashtra was a spineless, indecisive puppet leader. He was a spineless, indecisive, and puppet leader. Because he was indecisive, he was not able to take any decision. And even if he was taking a decision, it was in favor of his children. That is why once Vidur and Sanjay, they told him that history, the kind of injustice you have done for the Pandavas and the kind of protection you have given, overprotection you have given to your children, history will never forgive you. Then he said, will you forgive me? He said,
no.
Vidur said, I will not forgive you.
I will not
Then he said, you yourself will also not forgive. History will never forgive you. Neither I will be forgiving you, nor you yourself will forgive you. So what I'm trying to communicate is that he was known as an indecisive leader, puppet leader, and a spineless leader, and which has costed a lot to the nation, to the kingdom. And you know what has finally happened to that nation.
Yeah.
Right.
How does Duryodhan egos demonstrated emotional mismanagement of time?
Duryodhana was a character who was not having any control over himself. He was not having any control. Neither he was trying to control everything, but he was trying to control in a very unethical way. Very, very unethical way. And there are certain things which he has done. I can say he was a good time manager also.
Okay,
Though it's a Duryodhana was a negative character,
yes,
but he was managing the things in some incidents in Mahabharata
okay,
so nicely, let me tell you. I'll just give you one example. How his time management really helped Kauravas to get a big success. When Dronacharya became the army chief, then Duryodhana could understand that we cannot win because Bhishma Pitama has gone for this Sarasajya. Then he proposed to Dronacharya, if we can arrest Yudhishthira, then I will call up the war. Okay. यार बहुत अच्छा सजेशन तुम दे रहे हो. तुम 2 दिन पहले बताया होता तो शायद भीष्म पितामह would not have gone for Sarasajya. कोई बात नहीं. Tomorrow I will arrest him. Then this information could reach to Bhim, Arjun, Nakul, Sahadev, and next day they surrounded him. So even if Dronacharya tried many times to arrest him, he could not arrest because Arjuna was there. Then he expressed his inability to Duryodhan. भाई देखो जब तक अर्जुन है ना वहां पे मैं तो उसको बंदी बना नहीं सकता. Then in the evening, Duryodhan did a very good job. He immediately found that it is urgent as well as important. Quadrant. He called a small king called Trigat brothers. Then he said, tomorrow you go and you are ready to die for me? Now, yes, I am ready to die for you. Now you go and give lots of gali to Arjun. अर्जुन तुम क्या कैसा योद्धा हो, तुम लड़ाई कर रहे हो, ये छोटे छोटे के साथ लड़ाई करना तो मेरा साथ करो, right? And give lots of gali to his Gandiv also because Gandiv is a very weakness to him. Okay. And वो क्या होगा, वो भड़क जाएगा. He will be triggered. And जब तुमको मारने के लिए तुम्हारा पीछा करेगा ना, तुम उसको लड़ाई मत करना, भाग जाना, भाग जाना. तुम भाग जाना, मैदान से भाग जाना, ताकि क्या होगा, अर्जुन तुमको पीछे पीछे तुम्हारा पीछे जाएगा, पीछा करेगा तुमको मारने के लिए. Then that is the time when he will not be in the battlefield. Yeah. Then क्या होगा? When he will not be in the battlefield, that is the time when Bhishma Pitama will arrest Yudhishthira or he will put the Chakravyuha. And exactly वही हुआ. And they Dronacharya put the Chakravyuha, and this Abhimanyu, the teenage son of Arjun, entered inside. He was knowing how to enter, but he was not knowing how to come back. So he was mercilessly killed. So in the process, Duryodhan could eliminate a big warrior from the battlefield, and he was so young, but he was giving challenge to everybody. So that's a beautiful example of managing time, and it was not urgent but important. But he could ensure before time that is being eliminated. Yeah.
What are the modern parallel of knowing the right thing but not act on it?
Okay, what are the modern parallels of knowing the right thing but you are asking me connecting to Mahabharata and time management also, right? There are many examples of this kind which are there. But one example I'll give you on strategic management from Mahabharata. Strategic management, where Krishna was knowing something, but he did not do on his own. He rather delegated to somebody, right? He delegated to Yudhishthira and Arjuna. When the war was in full swing, then on the second and third day of the Mahabharata, Bhishma Pitama was unstoppable. He was killing so many soldiers of Pandavas mercilessly. And when he was killing, Krishna felt कि ये 2 या 3 दिन के अंदर ये खत्म करने वाला है. He is going to finish the war. So he called Yudhishthira and Arjun. He said कि यार एक काम करो, ये युद्ध खत्म होने वाला है. तुमको याद है, तुमने इससे पहले युद्ध होने से पहले तुमने you had gone to take his blessings, right? He said yes, we had gone to take his blessings. That blessing लेने का टाइम में उनका जब पाँव छुआ था, तुमने क्या blessings दिया था? ना विजय भव, विजय दिया था ना? But now he is standing in between the victory and you people. So go and return him in the evening. And they went and they said, we have come to return you the blessings of Vijaya Bhava. Then he said, why? Now you are standing in between. Then he said, I will tell you how to move out of you can eliminate me
from the battlefield.
Right? And if a Nari would come in front of me, then I'll renounce my arms and operations. And that exactly happened. And a Nari, that is Sikhandi, was presented before him, and he moved out of. So that's the right thing which Krishna was knowing, but he did not act upon. He rather delegated this job to Yudhishthira and Arjuna, and he could get the success.
When does overthinking become destructive?
Many times overthinking is destructive, but there is a saying, necessity is the mother of invention, right? Only when you're desperately needing something, then you will get it. If you don't desperately think, then you will not get it, right? So, in Mahabharata, if you see Dhritarashtra's position, since he was idle and he was overthinking about the safety and security and welfare of his children only, that is why he brought all the bad things to his fold. And in the process, he lost one by one his brother, his sons, and finally they lost the battle. So it's important for all of us that thinking is good, but overthinking is bad, because action has to be there along with your thinking. If there is no action, only you think from morning to evening, then it has no meaning, right? But one example I'll tell you, overthinking is bad, but in one occasion, thinking very structured, in a very structured way, that has really helped. When Arjun declared that Jayadratha, you will not see tomorrow's sunset, next day when the war was happening, Arjun was aiming towards Jayadratha to kill him, but at the same time he was looking towards the sun. The movement of the sun, because sunset ho jayega to time is over.
Yeah.
He cannot kill. The war would be over. So he was keeping a track of the movement of the sun. So he was keeping a track and he was looking towards Jayadratha. So there are 4 things to learn from this particular incident. First is focus. His focus was how to kill Jayadratha. Then prioritization. His priority was to ensure this execution before the sunset. Right? That's an important thing we need to learn from him. Then tracking the time. How much time is left? Sunset is going to happen and another 10 minutes or 15 minutes or half an hour is there. So he was tracking. At the same time, he was trying to also see how I can be closer to Jayadratha so that I can kill him. So he was looking towards the sun and looking towards Jayadratha. So these are the 2 things we're doing. So you need to learn 4 things from this particular thing. One is prioritization, that is prioritization to kill Jayadratha, otherwise himself will be killed. Then focus and concentration. He was not looking towards anywhere, just Jayadratha and the sun. The third one is tracking and monitoring. And same thing also happens in our organization. In our personal life, professional life, if these 4 things we are going to do, one is your prioritization, second your focus and concentration, then time tracking and monitoring. If you do, then you can understand where I am wasting my time and where I am utilizing my time. That's the learning.
The same question I come to ask, that how will you manage time as you are in a government job role? You are going to give the sessions, do you have a personal life, and you are attending so many podcasts and going in events. So how do you manage your time?
Again, I will answer to you, time milta nahi hai, nikalna padta hai. You will not get time. You will have to find time. So, there is something called procrastination. Means kaal karenge. Let me do tomorrow. ये काल जो करेंगे ना, that is the biggest enemy of the time management. आज का काम आज करो. When APJ Abdul Kalam took the oath of President of India, then he was addressing to the Parliament. The first sentence was this. The first sentence he used to all the parliamentarians, that this is this is the basic of time management. So that's an important thing. So every day what I do, even if it is 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, if I don't finish my job of today, I don't go to sleep. Because I cannot sleep. Because there will be, again and again, it will be reminding me at night also, bhai ye kaam tumne nahi kiya na, kal mushkil hone wala hai. Tomorrow you are going to do a broadcast on time management. You have not studied well. So I have to do it minimum, because that's a basic thing which I have to do. Second thing is that there is a law called Parkinson's law. It says work spreads as per the availability of time. Means अगर आपको एक नोटिंग लिखने के लिए मॉर्निंग में दिया गया और बोला गया कि आपको ना 2 दिन में करना है, यू विल टेक 2 days. इफ यू विल बी टोल्ड आपको शाम तक करना है 1 दिन के अंदर, आप 1 दिन लेंगे. आपको बोला जाए कि आधा दिन के अंदर आप करके दीजिए, आप आधा दिन लेंगे. आपको बोला जाए कि 1 घंटे में करके दे दो, आप 1 घंटे में भी करके देंगे. दैट मीन्स आपके पास जो टाइम होता है ना, काम होता है, वो स्प्रेड कर जाता है बिकॉज ऑफ अवेलेबल टाइम.
Availability.
कुछ लोगों को पूछो तुमने सुबह से क्या किया ना, मैं बहुत काम कर दिया. क्या कर दिया ना, मैं खाना बना दिया, घर झाड़ू कर दिया और पेपर पढ़ लिया, बस हो गया उनका पूरा दिन. राइट. सो same thing happens to me because whatever job is being comes to me, I ensure that I have a time for each of them. Then what I do, I prepare a to-do list in the morning. In my diary, if you ask me, Mr. Satapathy, 2005 में आप अगस्त 12 तारीख को क्या आपने किया था? My diary will tell. Because every day I write down what are things I'm going to do, to-do list. And my diary is there with me. My office moves along with me. Anywhere, whether it's a railway station or a bus stand or a airport, I can make my office run in 2 minutes. My laptop is there, my hotspot is there, and it runs. So there is not a single pending job which is there, and I'm computer related, very computer savvy. These are the 2-3 tips I told you. Then I will tell you another 2-3 things. Then people say AI is coming and ये नौकरी खा जाएगा लोगों का. ठीक है? It is going to take away jobs. My answer is that you will not lose your job because of the AI. You will lose your job because you don't know AI. Right? आपका नौकरी नहीं जाएगा AI की वजह से. आपकी नौकरी जाएगा क्योंकि आपको AI नहीं जानते हो. Today, at this age, I am a biggest user of AI. Right? मेरा महाभारत का लेसन जो बन रहा है वो AI से बन रहा है. जो मेरे को लगता था एक दिन लिखने के लिए लगता था, अभी 5-7 मिनट में मेरा लिखना हो जाता है. Right? So that's an important thing. We need to adopt the technology, adaptability to the technology. ठीक है? Then there still I find there are many people, those are using desktop in the office. Stop it. 2002 में I had stopped using desktop. I am using the laptop since 2002. Your laptop is your friend. Wherever you go, take it along with you. It is going to save lots of your time. And if your office is along with you, anywhere time is there, you can do this. Right? And there is something called SMART goal also. SMART.
Smart goal, yes.
SMART goal. And you have to really smartly write down what are things you are going to do today.
Specifically measurable.
Yes. Specific, measurable, attainable, time, resource defined and time bound.
Time bound.
So this is another tips which everybody need to understand. Then diary. Diary is a must. Every day you should maintain so that you can understand where your time is getting wasted. If you are not maintaining a diary, then the time is not in your control. You are in the control of your time. Are you got a point? That's an important thing. And review and do the understanding where I have spent time in the last 1 week. And I'll tell you, if you give me another 10 jobs also, I will do today.
How did Krishna demonstrate long-term strategic planning before the Kurukshetra war?
When Krishna was in the battlefield, his intention was to establish dharma, right? Because there is a chaos. And that is why there is a sloka in Sanskrit, na? Jada jada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata. Right? That means when there is a adharma happens, I am here to there. I am here to save this kingdom. So what he was doing, though before the war, he had also strategically ensured that he is in the side of Pandavas. Because he was knowing that Pandavas is in the side of Dharma.
Yes.
So he made a strategy. When the war was about to start, both Arjuna and Duryodhana, they went to his house to take his help.
Yeah.
And because both are related to Krishna, then Krishna offered 2 things. One is, I have my Narayani Sena and myself Narayan. Right? And my condition is that I will not pick up any arms nominations. So you decide which one to pick up. So then Arjuna was given the first choice of refusal. Then he picked up Krishna, that is Narayan. So that was not accidentally happened. That is strategically Krishna did it. Because he was knowing, Arjuna is intelligent, but Duryodhan is mota buddhi. Mota buddhi ko kya chahiye? 1 lakh Narayani Sena. But Arjuna was knowing a leader is more important than the entire soldier. Right? A leader is going to make lots of difference. So he picked up Krishna because he was there he was confident that he's going to give him guidance and he's going to mentor and coach him also in the entire period. So that's a strategy he made well in advance.
What we can learn from the preparation phase before war in current, if we are talking about modern world, before we goes for any meeting or something like that, what was the preparation phase we learned from Mahabharata?
Lesson number 1 is to always keep a standby, plan B, plan C, plan D. Suppose you are going for a presentation and people don't like, then you have another presentation. Or you are going to have sell a product or give a proposal. The proposal 1 is not acceptable, plan B is there. So in Mahabharata, as you know, when Krishna came as a brand ambassador of Pandavas to Krishna's Darbar. Duryodhana's Darbar, you can say Dhritarashtra's Darbar. So what happened? He said, Pandavas, unko Indraprastha de dijiye. No, he said, no, I will not give you Indraprastha. Then he proposed for 5 gaon de dijiye. So he had a plan B also. If though he didn't agree, that is a different thing. But he had a plan B, right? Then Duryodhana said, without war, I am not going to give a inch of my land. That's a different issue. So one thing we need to learn is that when you go for a meeting or some negotiation or some discussion and you are trying to convince to the other party, then you should have a plan B all the time available. Second thing we need to learn is that you need to learn from Krishna the presentation skill. If you see his body language, he speaks, his hands were also speaking. His eyesight was also speaking. His body language was also speaking. So it was a complete presentation. And he was doing movement also from one place to another in the Rajya Sabha. So there are lots of things to learn from him in terms of presentation skill or while going for a meeting.
And that is the part of public speaking also. Okay,
yes.
You have to have head movement.
Yes.
Eye movement on the stage.
Yeah.
So how important is foresight in leadership?
You see, without foresight, you cannot be a leader. You are a manager. The difference between manager and leader is that leader has a foresight, has a vision, and manager doesn't have any vision. He only works whatever job has been given to you, right? So between Duryodhana and Krishna, if you compare, Duryodhana was a manager because he was not having foresight. But Krishna had a foresight that to establish dharma, right? And because he had a foresight and vision to establish dharma, that is why he could win. And finally, and he could establish dharma also because the entire Kauravas, except 1 or 2, were alive, rest were all eliminated. And from Pandava side, almost everybody was alive. And in the process, he could establish dharma. So it's important that foresight, vision, these are all essential competencies of a leader.
How did a small decision accumulate into massive consequences?
Yes. One of the biggest example is there in Mahabharata. A small misbehavior has led to a disaster. If you see the order of Mahabharata from the beginning to the end, at one point of time, Draupadi said to Duryodhana, Andhe ka beta andha hai.
Yes.
If you see, before to that incident, Draupadi was never insulted by the Kauravas. But subsequently, all this insult happened to her. So the trigger और उसका जड़, उसका जो बीज है, वो that incident. अब बताइए कि द्रौपदी की धृतराष्ट्र was his father-in-law ना, तो उनको इंसल्ट करने का तुम्हारा क्या हक बनता है, right? Why you said that अंधे का बेटा है? Not only you have insulted to your father-in-law, you have also insulted to your brother-in-law. You get a point? दोनों का हमने insult किया. Then the incident happened. Lakshya grew, then your the game of dice, and going into jungle, then Agyantavasa for 1 year. All this happened. But the trigger is that. So learning is that हम हमारा बेटियों को जब हम ससुराल भेजते हैं, उनको कुछ संस्कार दे के भेजेंगे. बेटी तुम जा रहे हो, तुम्हारा ससुर जी है, सास जी है, देवर जी है, उनको थोड़ा सा रेस्पेक्ट करना तुम्हारा फर्ज बनता है. उनको इंसल्ट करना तुम्हारा कोई अधिकार नहीं है. So that's an important learning so far as the family is concerned. So that small incident triggered to a huge war.
We have almost covered basics of time from Mahabharata. Procrastination I have covered. Strategic planning and long-term vision we have recently covered. Now we will move toward the another segment, that is discipline and focus. So what made Arjuna an exceptional archer beyond talent?
Okay, let me tell you, he was a very disciplined boy. Very extremely disciplined. Extremely disciplined. I'll tell you 2-3 incidents which has happened with Arjuna. One is, once Dronacharya, their guru, did a potential appraisal of all the Pandavas and Kauravas. And they were small. They called all of them, and there is a tree, and there is a wooden bard which was there in the tree. Then he asked one by one to come and to focus, and so that they can shoot the bird. Then when Ashwathama was called, उसको पूछा गया कि what he could see. I could see your paw, I could see your legs, and I could see a jungle, and I could see the tree, and I could see the leaves of the tree, and so many things. Then he was said,
Arjun.
okay, go. Then Duryodhana was also asked, was called. Then he said, what do you see? Now I could see only one pakshi, right? But he was also said, okay, wait for some time. Then Arjun was asked, what he could see? He could see the head of the bird. Then he said, can you focus once again? Then he said, I could see only the bird's eye. I got a point? So in the process, he was focusing on this. And one day, Dronacharya could see at night also, he was doing practice. All other kids were sleeping, but he was doing practice during night. Then he was asked, I have never taught you this particular thing. He said, no. I could discover that at night, if I can eat, my hand can go to my mouth. Why my arrow cannot touch to somebody, to the target? So that is why I'm doing practice. So one quality which is there is that the perseverance and the dedication, commitment he was having. That is why he came out with flying colors, and he is the biggest archer of this world.
Before I ask second question, you have already answered. Daily practice.
Daily practice, yeah.
How can professional today develop Arjun-like focus?
First of all, they need to be disciplined. Discipline in the sense, discipline in their routine jobs. Many times what happens, we get off late in the morning, right? But there is a saying, early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. So you need to sleep early and get up early. I don't think, though I have not read anywhere about what kind of routine Arjuna is having, but I can make sure, I can guess very nicely that he must be getting up early in the morning. So the professionals need to first of all make a disciplined life. Early to bed they should get up early in the morning. Then they should do practice. So we should go for exercise. That's another important thing we'll learn. Second is that Arjun was unstoppable. Anytime he was getting an opportunity to practice, he was doing practice. Same thing also, we need to read every day. That's called sharpening the saw. Every day we should read something new. We should learn something new, right? And certain skill sets also you should develop, which is sellable in the market, which could be monetized also. So that's an important thing we need to learn from Arjun in terms of discipline. At the same time, his humility was also very, very good. He was touching to the paw of his Guruji, right? Then he was doing namaste to him, and he was having respect from his core of the heart. But many of the executives in the modern world, I find the humility is absent of them. Their ego is very, very high, and that is stopping them to get the feedback from the people, and that is why they're not able to grow. That's my experience in the recent past.
Sharpen the saw is also a part of habit we teach. Even it is mentioned in Stephen Covey book, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's one of the habit, sharpen the saw, which you have told. The Kurukshetra war has lasted just 18 days. So how were daily strategies decide extreme time pressure, decided under time pressure. When we
Daily, during 18 days, how they're strategizing,
the Kurukshetra was lasted in 18 days only.
right?
But how were daily strategies? I'm asking daily strategies decide under extreme time pressure. Time pressure when happen, though something will matched up. So daily strategy, how can help?
Okay. I'll give an example of how Bhisma Pitamaha was eliminated from the battlefield. It was again a beautiful learning about time management. In the Stephen Covey's 4 quadrants, one of the quadrant is the not urgent but important. Right? Not urgent, important. When Bhisma Pitamaha was doing lots of casualty for Pandavas, then Krishna felt he needs to be eliminated from the battlefield. And that sort of time, he was knowing that today it is not urgent to eliminate him. But if he will continue for another 2-3 days as army chief, he will completely eliminate the Pandava soldiers. So, what he did, he asked Arjun, go and return. Right. So, what are things to learn? First thing to learn is proactive action. You need to be proactive, not reactive. Proactive is in advance you plan. Reactive is when the incident has already happened, how you are going to react to that.
React on it.
So here, proactively, he asked Arjuna to go and to return, to Yudhishthira, to return the blessings of Vijaya Bhava. Second is focus on prevention than cure. Prevention. He prevented Bhisma Pitamaha in continuing his army chief position by presenting that Nari in front of him.
In front of.
What is that Nari's name? Sikhandi.
Sikhandi.
By presenting Sikhandi, he could prevent him growing much more and killing more people. So that's a focus on prevention. Then long-term thinking. So Krishna's thought process was that if we are going to eliminate him, then what will happen? The other warriors which are there in Kaurava side, they are not that strong. किसी का पास इच्छा मृत्यु नहीं है. इवन द्रोणाचार्य के पास नहीं है, अश्वत्थामा के भी नहीं है, कर्ण के पास भी नहीं है, किसी के पास है नहीं, बट इनका पास है.
इनके पास है.
So if you will be away from the battlefield, that is a major victory, right? That's an important example of urgent, not urgent, but important.
So next question is, what does battlefield decision making teach us about crisis management?
Crisis management is a beautiful thing to learn from Mahabharata. Particularly the incident of Yudhishthira and brothers, when they were in the jungle during their Vanabasa, they were thirsty. And they were looking towards water. Then you know that story, when Nakul went to face the water, then Jaksha asked, without giving my answer, please don't touch the water, don't drink. He said, no, तुम कौन होते हो? मेरा ये इसके ऊपर अधिकार है. Then he said, you drink. Then he drank the water and fell. Then same thing happened to Sadev also. Then when Arjun came, Arjun was having lots of ego. Then he said, तुमको पता है मैं इस पानी को सुखा सकता हूँ, तुम्हारा कोई अधिकार नहीं है. फिर he also drank water and he also fell. Then Bhim ने said, तुमने मेरा भाइयों का ऐसा पोजीशन किए हो, पहले तो मैं पानी पी के सिद्ध करूंगा कि तुम्हारा कोई अधिकार नहीं है, इसके बाद मैं तुमको दंड भी दूंगा क्योंकि मेरा भाई का ऐसा तुमने किया. He said, no, तुमने मेरा आंसर दो, फिर तुम पानी पियो, नहीं तो तुम्हारा भाई जैसे होगा. He did not listen also. Right? Then finally, when Yudhishthira came, he was having beautiful knowledge about emotional intelligence. He was a wonderful human, he had a beautiful competency of emotional intelligence. What he did, it was a crisis situation for them. And he used his emotional intelligence. He tried to understand what is the question of Jaksha. He could understand it. He was a Vidwan, Dharmaraj. Lots of learning he was having. He could give all the answers to him. For example, स्वर्ग से और ऊंचाई में कौन है, ऐसा कुछ क्वेश्चन उन्होंने पूछा उन्होंने पिताजी. राइट, धरती से और कौन ज्यादा ऊंचाई में है, माताजी, ऐसा कुछ क्वेश्चन उन्होंने पूछा. It's a set of questions, very beautiful questions, right? Then finally he could answer all these questions. And there's a beautiful example of crisis management. He used his intellect with precision and he could answer all these questions with humility. And in the process, Yaksha was absolutely be extremely happy, and he not only gave him the permitted him to take the water, but he gave the life to all his brothers also. That's a beautiful example of crisis management. So crisis management doesn't need you to be very, very annoyed. You need not to shout, but you need to be cool and calm, which will bring you enough strength to come to a right kind of decision.
What psychological qualities are needed for high-stake timing decisions?
You see, when it's a stake was high, let me tell you, in this particular example which I gave you, Yudhishthira had a big stake because his brothers were
are
dead. So that point of time, he used three prime competencies of a CEO. One competency is the empathy. Empathy. He was very much empathetic towards his brothers and empathetic towards the Yaksha also. And without hurting his sentiments, without giving any bad, without firing to the Yaksha, he rather tried to understand what Yaksha wants. And he could control himself because he was thirsty, he was needing water, but he had a good self-control. He had a beautiful self-control. So CEOs or CMDs of different companies need to have a control on themselves. Because if they have created a beautiful impression in the entire organization, credibility, by firing in one occasion, they are going to lose the entire credibility which they have gained. So it's important to have a self-control so that other person will understand also that this person is trying to give me a very mature decisions. Right? That's an important quality, that is control over self. Second is that the analytical skill. It's an important quality you need to learn. So he tried to listen all the questions of Yaksha one by one, and with lots of articulation, presentation, and he could answer all these questions. He could analyze the data also very nicely, right? So that's an important quality we need to learn from Yudhishthira. And the third thing we need to learn from Yudhishthira is the credibility which he was having, as a result of which all these brothers were listening to him. And anytime he was doing even bad things, they were not raising their voice. They were just blindly listening to him and following him.
Follow him.
Because he was for them, all the brothers, he was a fatherly figure. And they had lots of respect for him.
Yeah, everyone is talking about time management, but no one tell what was the cost of wrong timing. So there is another question from Mahabharata. There is a person named as Karna. Karna has his strength. He knows everything. But yet timing worked against him. Was it fate or poor alignment?
I'll say it is a poor alignment, I'll tell you. Once Krishna asked to Karna, कि Karna, you tell me, you are a big philanthropist, तुम बड़ा दानी हो. You are a good धनुर्धर also. And अगर अर्जुन किसी को डर रहा है तो तुमको डर रहा है. But tell me how you are in the side of अधर्म. ये अधर्मी युधिष्ठिर के साइड में आप कैसे हो? Then he said, when nobody was giving me status and identity, he made me the king of Anga.
Yes.
And he has made me as a friend. And I can't really forget him. Then Krishna asked a very beautiful question to him. Ki, don't you think by staying with the side of adharma, you are doing everyday adharmi work? Every day you are doing something or other adharmi work now? So don't you think it's better to be in debt for all times to come than be in the side of adharma? तुम नहीं सोचते हो कि बेटर है कि ऋणी रह जाना बेटर है than जो अधर्मी का साइड में रहना इंपॉर्टेंट है. Then ये चीज उसको he could realize that yes, I am doing a mistake every day by being in the side of adharmi, right? It's better to be on loan or on debt than be in the side of adharma. That's a very important question he asked. So that's a beautiful answer which he has given.
So what does Bhishma Pitama waiting for the right time to leave his body when the surgery will happen. So his body teaches what the body, Bhishma Pitama, we can learn from this incidence about control over time.
You see, Bhisma Pitamaha was a Ichha Mrityu unka paas tha, right? And he wanted to see really what is happening after the war is over, right? But at the same time, though he was in Sarasajja, but in between, many warriors were coming to him to respect him, give their respect to him, right? And to take his blessings. And that point of time also, though he was in Sarasajja, he was giving everybody some kind of knowledge, some kind of wisdom, some kind of advice he was regularly giving. And he not only gave to Arjun, he gave the advice to Karna also, and he gave to many other warriors when they were coming. And only when he felt that my time is over and it's the best time to go, then he left his body and he went.
We have talked about many a time in today's podcast, Karmana Vidharaste. So what does Karmanya Vidharaste teach about focus on present effort?
You see, one thing we need to learn from Mahabharata, particularly from the character of Arjun, is the focus, right? And focus as a competency, that is target orientation, is an important quality which you need to learn from him, right? And when they were in Agyatavasa in Virat kingdom, right? That point of time, the Kichak, that is brother-in-law of the Virata king, was killed by Bhim. And that message went to Duryodhan that Kichak has been killed. And Duryodhan felt that there are only 4 or 5 people in this world who can kill Kichak. Out of them, 4 are next to me. They are sitting next to me.
Yes.
Then who is not there with us? Bhim. Then he could understand this, that they're all staying there in disguise, and the best time to fight with them, right? And there, when he came to fight with them from Pandava side, that is Virat kingdom side, Arjuna was alone. He was alone, and from Kaurava side, all the warriors, including Bhisma Pitamaha, Dronacharya, Krupacharya, Duryodhan, Dusasan, Karn, all were there. And Arjun single-handedly could defeat all of them. So that shows that how much focused he was having, how much dedication he was having, what a big warrior and what a big archer he was.
Okay. So now we're talking about personal productivity insights, if I'm asking. So suppose if Yudhishthir were managing modern organization, what would his time style look like, according to you?
He must be, if he would have been a modern CEO, then his time style would have been like Delhi Metro's, what do you call the CMD, who could drive the entire metro railway of Delhi, Dr. Sridharan, right? The way, because I heard about Mr. Sridharan that he was very punctual in the morning. By 8 o'clock, he was reaching to the office, or 9 o'clock. Then he was doing little puja part. Then he was doing review of the people. Then he was then going to the field to see how things are happening. And I heard from some sources that he's very punctual in timing. And in the evening also, he was very punctual in going home.
Come on time, leave on time.
Leave on time. And rest of the time he was using for the planning. Same thing I can compare with him with Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira would have been a similar kind of personality who would have really respected time, each and every minute of his time. And he would have been done a beautiful planning for the whole day, the way I could perceive him.
So if I ask, how does modern entrepreneurs applying Kurukshetra style of preparation?
3-4 things we need to learn from Kurukshetra, particularly from Pandava side, the way they were doing the things. One is they have to do strategy, the way Krishna was strategizing. They need to learn from Arjuna the target orientation. That's an important quality the industrialist should learn, target orientation. From Yudhishthira, empathy. Empathy need to learn because they need to take care of their employees so that the employees will take care of them. And there will be less attrition in the organization. Then from Bhishma Pitamaha, you need to learn the decisiveness. Bhishma Pitamaha, when Duryodhan came with a folding hat that give me the permission to my brother, friend to participate in the war, he said, no, a man who doesn't know how to respect to a man has no place to fight under my flag. I'll not permit this Abhadra Karna to participate in the war. So decisiveness you need to learn from him. Then coming to Krishna, strategic thinking, which I've explained just now.
Yeah.
Then if you see Bidur was emotionally intelligent.
Yes.
Because every time he was giving lots of gali to Dhritarashtra, but still Dhritarashtra was liking him. He was giving lots of gali to him, and he was talking very tough to him, right? But still he was liking him. So that's an important thing we need to learn from him. From Draupadi also we need to learn the adaptability and resilience and adaptability that modern industrialists should learn. And one more thing we need to learn from Duryodhana, the art of delegation. If you keep on doing everything on your hand, then you cannot really do the good thing. You cannot really achieve your targets. So you have to delegate others. So महाभारत में जितने गंदा गंदा काम हुआ है दुर्योधन से करवाया है बाय शकुनी और बाय दुशासन और बाय अदर पीपल. वो खुद नहीं किया कोई भी चीज. So art of delegation you to learn from him, right? And from Karna also you need to learn the perseverance. बिगिनिंग से एंड तक कर्ण को जितनी मार पड़ी है, जितनी ह्यूमिलेशन हुआ है और किसी के साथ नहीं हुआ है, बट स्टिल उसने कभी हार नहीं माना है. एंड ही हैज नेवर गिवन अप. सो दैट इज द रीजन अभी भी हस्तिनापुर जाइए, एक मंदिर है जहाँ पे कर्ण को पूजा करते हैं. एंड अर्जुन को भी, अर्जुन का नाम पे हमारा इंडिया में इंडिया गवर्नमेंट हैज एन अवार्ड व्हिच इज कॉल्ड अर्जुन अवार्ड. एंड द्रौपदी, अब देखिए प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया का नाम भी द्रौपदी है. And with respect, we also look towards her. And we have highest respect for her. So that's an important quality to learn from each character of Mahabharata.
If listener want to apply one Mahabharata principle to improve time management from this week, so what should it be?
One time management principle is that do everything when they are not urgent but important. If you are going to neglect it, then it will be graduated to urgent and important.
Okay.
Even in so far as your health is concerned, take care of your health when you are at the age of 30-35, so that you will not be neglecting, and it will be one day be urgent and important. घर में अगर बच्चे हैं 8th 9th में पढ़ रहे हैं, don't neglect, because अभी 11th को जाने वाले हैं. If you don't take care of them now, which is important but not urgent, once they will be in 11th, it will be urgent and important. Saving for the old age also. Do saving when you are at the age of 30-35. So it's not urgent but important. But at the age of 50-55, 60, it will be urgent as well as important. So that's the learning.
Few quick rapid fire round can we play? It's a one line answer we need. You like Krishna's style strategy or Arjuna's style of execution?
Strategy is more important. Krishna's strategy.
Krishna's strategy. Long-term vision is more important or immediate action?
Long term.
Emotional driven decisions are more important or dharma driven decisions?
Dharma driven.
Now it's very common because people are searching for motivation. Motivation or discipline?
If you motivate people, then there will be discipline automatically.
One Mahabharata character whose time management you who admire you most?
Though he was a negative character,
Okay.
You have to learn a lot from Duryodhan, but at the same time, I'll say Dronacharya. Dronacharya, you need to learn a lot in terms of time management. The way he was maintaining discipline among the children, and from morning to evening, the way he was training all the Pandavas, the archery skills. Beautiful learning from time management from him.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.